Letsau Letsosa from Soweto, Orlando, said they did not come if called the police and told to go home and follow if went to the police station, but they did not call. First, an elderly woman working at a taxi stop in Johannesburg CBD opened up to me, saying she had trouble getting all her food because the Sassa Elders Scholarship wasn't enough. It was dangerous for a woman of that age to be in town because of the crime, but some shops here are cheaper. Everything is at high prices: food, water and oil. It is electricity that puts us under more stress. We throw away our little food. We fight hunger every day. Because our food is spoiled, it's stressful to see your expensive food go to waste. That's why older citizens become victims of usury. Some of us take our cards away because we can't repay them. Sometimes can't cook because I don't have electricity and can't afford paraffin. Some days I sleep in a dark house because I don't even have the money to buy an R5 candle. There was discipline in municipalities at time. State system was very well run, and in old days, if you didn't do your job properly, you would be held to account for bad government. If you were an old man or a lady, you would have been served first and went home. Today, seniors are waiting in line until they feel their knee bones will explode. Daily Maverick people leave the house in dark and line up at dawn, but Sassa Soshanguve is turned away his office. It seems that government employees are stress-free. They don't care if you're happy with their services or not. They even told us, you can go and complain, and they don't care. It shows that we are truly free in this country, and that the elderly are treated as toilet paper. Many older citizens say that in the old days, older people, women and children were better protected. For example, if a widow do not have a place to stay, go to the municipality and tell them that are stranded with the children they have provided your place. They compare this to this new government, which promises homes to older citizens. But when you go out, our seniors still live in infamous barracks. Older women are raped, and harassed, and the police are spending time solving these cases. Old, sick and insecure. For example, Hlengiwe Mkhabela is a street vendor in Joubert Park in Johannesburg. I talked to him on a rainy day. His shoulders were covered with plastic so he wouldn't get wet. His only hope is the old blanket he used to wrap around his waist to warm up. I come here every day to sell my fruit and vegetables, whether it's raining or not. There is nothing I can do because I have to support my family. I took him to school and hoped he would find a job when school was over. Nothing happens in their lives. They don't do anything at home with their high qualities. I don't make much by selling here. This place is not safe. These guys come here and get my stuff for free. Nobody is protecting me. This town is not safe. We are like animals in the forest. No regrets. The crime is high. I don't know how to explain it. People are killing people like insects, Mkhabela said. Yes, the old government was brutal and dangerous, but it is worse and more dangerous compared to what happened in this new government. Our government eats them all and distributes the rest to the poor. Mkhabela added, my parents worked in white homes, but there was a lot of food in my house. My brother was collecting toilet bowls in the municipality because there were no flush toilets elsewhere. That bucket toilet system is very well managed. They were collected on time. It's not like in this black government where people throw toilet bowls at the gates of the municipality. In Daily Maverick Soweto, if I find a criminal in my garden, I don't call the police. I'm taking law into my own hands. I worked as a restaurant cleaner. By the end of the month, we were all at home. My brother used to buy a big bag of coal for the stove. I would buy my food and toiletries. My parents would have paid the rent. We were all working, but our parents were watching us. Yes, people were poor, but not as poor as they are today. Mkhabela says he misses the old days when white people were in power. There was a lot of work. It was easy to find housework. Factories were working, and others were repairing roads. Life was easy if police found you looking for work in the streets. They would take you to nearest factories or wherever there was work. Today you will find police vans playing loud music and police demonstrating. They would ask bosses they could give job or if they knew someone who could give a job because the old government knew would think about crime didn't have job. You will get the job and you will go home after work, announcing that you have a job for your family. Today the police don't care, they rob people. Hayabo bafika abantu abamnyama, bathi balangiza besatata besifika enleni. Silamban Janj is a Zinja. And from mouth of lamb. Here are black people who say I will fix country. They eat with their families. In the past, parents knew that when their children completed their education, they would find work. Those who come from poor families saved their families from poverty. Now the graduates are drinking drugs at home, while the others are turning to crime. Frequent victims of crime. I found Letsau Letsosa sitting in a dusty garden eating bread and juice. He lives in Orlando West and said he was a security guard in the past. As a security guard, had to have something to report in the office, for example how many people you helped and whether protected anyone from harm. It was a must to make the town safe. If you see an older woman or an older man, it is essential to make sure they know the direction they are going. Not today, securities just stand in their place. They don't care if you scream, you're being robbed, they'll tell you that the place where someone is screaming isn't their post. At the Daily Maverick, a town story: garbage everywhere, and no trash in sight. Look, where there are many whites, there is less crime. This is because security guards know that they must protect that environment at the expense of their lives. Look at the town, criminals rob people right in front of security. No one in this black government is running the system. They pay people without checking if they are doing a good job. Letsosa says she remembers that you can feel the police presence when there is a house robbery on her streets. They asked everyone in our position questions, and you're not going to say I've heard anything. Even if you could tell that dogs bark all night, that was helpful. The criminals who robbed that house before the end of the week were arrested. The police didn't come today. You go to them and they tell you to go home, they follow you. They are not following you. Back then those yellow vans were just service. Today you'll see vans playing loud music and the whistling. People who work in large offices are greedy. They are eating the money that poor people need to go. The police don't have the respect that the former police have. If they find you walking at night, they will rob you. The police did something bad on the radio, on television and in the newspapers every day. They do not respect their oath. Look at our locations, you see drug dealers selling drugs in public. They are no longer hiding, they are just doing their dirty work in front of the police. There were drugs in the old government, but they didn't look like they do now. Look at our young people, they are taking drugs from every corner of South Africa. We have lost everything in this new government.